Just giving folks a couple of more minutes to get on. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carmen Lugo Lugo, and I am the director of the School of Languages, Cultures, and Race. And it is my pleasure and honor to welcome each one of you to the third annual award ceremony of the School of Languages, Cultures, and Race. This event was created and organized with the purpose of celebrating the merits and accomplishments of our undergraduate students who are pursuing degrees in a variety of fields, including comparative ethnic studies, foreign languages and cultures, humanities, and social sciences. I would like to take a moment to thank, well, first of all, to thank you all for being here with us today, and to thank those who stepped in and made this possible. I would like to begin by thanking the Scholarship Committee and acknowledging the members of the committee. Francisco Arellano from Tri-Cities, Wego Tsao, Sabine Davis, Karen Jennings, and Insuk Weber, and the committee has been expertly chaired or co-chaired by Kayo Nimi and Reho Abo. So I would also like to thank profusely, actually, Tom Forbes and Shirley Alvarez, Chris Rawlings, and Caitlin Bonzo for taking care of the logistics of this ceremony. I would also like to welcome Sam Swindell, Associate Dean in the College of Arts and Sciences, and Development and Scholarship Coordinator Stephen Ward for celebrating with us today. So thank you both for being here. Finally, I would like to welcome the students being recognized this afternoon. Thank you for your excellence and congratulations on your accomplishments. It is students like you that make teaching all the more interesting, all the more relevant, and all the more exciting for those of us who have the privilege of standing in front of the classroom. I will now proceed to introduce and acknowledge our faculty and graduate students. So as I do this, could you, as I call your name, could you please use that little, what is it, hand raise emoticon, so then you pop to the corner there. I'm gonna start by, I'm gonna start alphabetically by area of specialty. So CES faculty, we have Assistant Professor Sam Ginsberg, Assistant Professor Alejandro Ramirez, Associate Professor Rory Young, and Associate Professor John Streamus. Professors David Leonard and Mary Blodsworth Lugo were not able to be with us today. The Chinese faculty, Associate Professor Weigo Cao, Associate Professor Xinmin Liu. French faculty, Lecturer Mark Black, Professor Sabine Davis, Assistant Professor Insuk Weber, and Professor Joan Grenier Winther from Vancouver. Humanities and Social Sciences, Associate Professor Mike Piracci from Tri-Cities. German faculty, Associate Professor Joshua Bonzo, Assistant Professor Karen Jennings. Japanese faculty, Assistant Professor Reho Abo and Associate Professor Kayo Nimi. Spanish faculty, Lecturer Raylene Weiss, Lecturer Colin Scholl, Lecturer Joseba Perez, Assistant Professor Francisco Arellano from Tri-Cities, Assistant Professor Samuel Ginsberg, Assistant Professor Sonia Lopez Lopez, Assistant Professor Alejandro Ramirez, Associate Professor Mike Hubert, Associate Professor Cassandra Gulam from Vancouver, Associate Professor Sere Previto, and Professor Vilma Navarro Daniels. Thank you all for being here. And I think Joshua.
Yes. Hello, I'm Joshua Bonzo. I'm as was already mentioned, in the German area. And it's my pleasure to welcome everyone again, and then to recognize many of our outstanding students, starting with scholarships today. Our students who are awarded scholarships must undergo a very complex application process, which includes short essays as well as to show high academic achievement and commitment to the programs they're in. These scholarships are awarded to students majoring or minoring in a program or in a school, or they are students who are planning to study abroad. As I read their names here, we would ask, I understand that there are some people who are gathered in groups. I'd ask you to hold applause till everything is over, and that you might be recognized, as was the faculty. Perhaps you might also, using the reaction smoke icon there, raise a hand so that I recognize who you are. And then after you have been recognized, to lower your hand once again so that we don't end up with a long line of people who are being recognized. First we have, and I do apologize if I mispronounce your name. I try very hard not to do that, but I am human, so please forgive me. We'd like to first recognize Claudia Jacobo, who has been the recipient of the Oscar and Muriel Holloway Varians Endowment in Foreign Languages and Literatures and the Kenneth H. Vanderford Endowed Scholarship Fund. Isabel Crownhart, the recipient of the Foreign Language Special Scholarships Fund and the Kenneth H. Vanderford Endowment Fund as well. Shea Gilchrist Smith, the recipient of the Gail Maradell Krummel General Studies Scholarship. as well as the CIS Scholarship Fund. Paul Awesomes, who has been the recipient of the Johnson Christopher G.J. Anna Nan Scholarship, the Kenneth H. Vanderford Endowed Scholarship, and the Elizabeth G. Lord Scholarship. Then a number of recipients of the Kenneth H. Vanderford Endowed Scholarship Fund. They are Charlie Aragon Ramirez, Scott Anderson, Andy Boyd, Sky Lance, Erica Uriba, Mitzi Munoz Haro, and Brooklyn Hofstetter. Recipients of the Chris Hoff Travel Fund are Logan Bretz, Alexis DeFord, Augustus Jordan, Michael McDonald, Reese Schulke, and Michael Webster. Congratulations to each one of these people. We would also like to recognize our outstanding achievement awards. These are top 1 or 2 academic performing students per year of study, 1st to 4th year, in languages. Recipients of these awards are selected by the faculty members in each program in recognition of their high grades, positive attitude toward learning, active participation in class, passion for their area of study, including their involvement in extracurricular activities. We will proceed through these in an alphabetical order by program. A faculty member in the specific program will call the student's name. As that name is called, once again, please use the reactions icon to raise your hand, and then again to lower your hand afterwards. Again, we would ask people to hold their applause, but we do welcome applause, so please do not hesitate to offer some applause as names are read after they have been, after everyone has been read in their specific language. We'll start with Chinese. I'll turn that time over now to my colleague, Wei Guo Cao.
Hello, this is Wei Guo Cao, and I will read the name for the outstanding students in Chinese. Outstanding students in the 1st year Chinese: Kylie Foster, Adri Rick. Outstanding students in the 2nd year Chinese: Andy Boyd, Rebecca Straka. Outstanding students in the 3rd year Chinese: Kelsey Detloff, Sabina Hicks. Outstanding students in the 4th year Chinese: Lila Sivas, Leo Roche. So congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. So next, I think is the French section, right?
Okay, yes, so we will now recognize the outstanding students in French. So for the 1st year, outstanding students are Katie Flanagan and Cadence Harden. For 2nd year, Joshua Malloy and Zoe Lemkin. For 3rd year, Mark Pearson and Emma Hedberg. And 4th year students, Reed Brown and Paul Awesomes. Congratulations.
Our outstanding students in German are as follows. In 1st year, Alyssa Welton and Dina Townsend. In 2nd year, Catherine Prushoff. 3rd year, Christiana Boothman and Reese Schulke. And 4th year, Paul Awesomes. Congratulations to each one of them. Let's also give them a round of applause.
Japanese.
Okay. We will now continue with awarded student in Japanese. So first year Japanese students, Gabriel Feliciano and Rain Raider. Second year Japanese outstanding students, Aya Core Harper and Madison Tebaldi. Third year Japanese outstanding students, Chihiro Hoover and Dara Abdulnejado. Fourth year Japanese outstanding students, Rina Arone and Sayuri Utsev. おめでとうございます。Congratulations to all. Let's give them a round of applause.
We will continue now with the awarded students in Spanish.
All right, our first year outstanding students are Maya Van Lith and Lauren Mora. Our second year are Sophia Wilson and Ryotaro Colon. Our third year outstanding students are Yesenia Larios and Natalie Williams. And our fourth year outstanding students are Jireli Aragon Ramirez and the great Vanessa Marar. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all, and let's give them a round of applause. We would like to continue and congratulate with the winners of La Felicidad en 100 Palabras, that is the creative writing contest. And we're going to do it per academic year category. On the 100 and 200 category, we have first place, Cali Kuykendall, Un Círculo de Cítrico. Second place, Kira Nicole Podelco from WSU Vancouver, Encontrando la Felicidad. Third place, Julia Talia Samira from WSU Vancouver, La Mesa. On the 300 category, first place, Alina Melchor Burgos from WSU Vancouver, Juan Pablo. Second place, Samantha Radcliffe, Persiguiendo la Felicidad. And third place, Zachary Callan Brandon from WSU Vancouver, El Cuerpo de la Felicidad. On the 400 category, we have first place, Vanessa Marar, La Felicidad es. Second place, Jenna De Vicenzi, Hacia el Azul. And third place, April Almanza, El Sentimiento Invisible de la Vida. Thank you very much for participating and congratulations to all the winners. At this point, we would like to recognize a special group of students. Every year, each program major selects the graduating students who best represent academic and personal achievements in their program as their outstanding senior. These students have been with us for 3 or 4 years and have typically participated in many of our extracurricular activities, but mostly each one of them in their own way has left a mark at our school, not only academically, but in other ways as well. We want to recognize them above all other students.
So first, Xinmin Liu will recognize the outstanding senior in Chinese.
Hi, my name is Xinmin Liu, and I'm very honored and delighted to present Lila Sievers as the outstanding senior for the Chinese section. Ms. Sievers joined us at WSU in the fall of 2019. She came from a reputable U.S. Army Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California, and as a product of its rigorous and thorough training in foreign languages, she was already in a position to continue learning Chinese on the very high proficiency level. Ms. Sievers is indeed an exceptional learner in both language and cultural content. But to do that, she has to overcome some learning disability due to her auditory processing disorder, APD. She has to double her efforts to adjust listening and note-taking in class. And she was able to rapidly evolve and adapt to class lectures, especially through her extraordinary will and determined practice of note-taking. The other aspect I want to mention is her pursuit of art minor as a strategy to combine her interest in sociology with her foreign language skills. And she demonstrated an exceptional mastery of relentless attention to hidden details in observed objects. I think it has much to do with her overcoming the APD learning disability. She wanted to reach her goal of integrating cultural knowledge with art. And she has also doubled her efforts in enhancing her artistic skills so as to create a stronger foundation for developing words that raise awareness of social injustice and invoking change. Did I say words? Yes. Thank you. Congratulations to Lila Sievers.
Thank you, Shinmin. Now we will have Insuk Weber presenting the outstanding senior in French.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So I'm so pleased to present Joshi Bruns. He's graduating with a BA with a double major in French and business administration with a certificate in global leadership. Now, so over the course of the last 4 years, the French faculty saw Joshi grow and become a fine student, above all, a fine human being, always kind and modest for all his accomplishments, including multiple scholarships and awards for his academic excellence. Now, I will just mention one particular accomplishment. I was his honors thesis advisor, and his topic grew out of his faculty-led study abroad in Paris. And he wanted to do research on the influence of the radical and massive renovation that took place during the 19th century in Paris, known as Haussmannisation. So this influence of this urban renovation, if you will, on the poet Charles Baudelaire. And so besides myself, we had an evaluator of his thesis, a professor of architecture. He was extremely impressed with his writing, and he said that the writing was so good that it could have been easily written by an advanced graduate student, and I completely agree with him. So that's a very high praise. Now, as for his post-graduation plan, he plans to move to Seattle area because he already has a job with Boeing as an information technology specialist. Eventually, with his French skills, he hopes to work as a liaison in some capacity between Boeing and Airbus. Airbus being the kind of French equivalent of a Boeing. So I wish him luck with that. And so finally, well, congratulations, Josh. We are so proud of you. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Insuk. And now Joshua Bonzo will present the outstanding senior in German.
Thank you. So with the name Karen Ludwig, you can't help but think German. And that is absolutely the truth. She's a transfer student who came to WSU to complete a bachelor's degree in accounting. And along the way, she decided to fall in love with German too. Now I have to tell a little backstory, just a little tiny one here. It is not my place to do it, but I do it anyway, and all of my students will know this. Whenever I learn that any of my students has a significant other, I always say, does that person speak German? And if they say no, I say, come on, there's a minimum standard here. Well, Karen went 10 times better than that. She married a German. So when you say she fell in love with German, it is the truth. After having lived there, she desired to learn the language better and culture better. And what better way to do that than falling in love and marrying someone from the country? Despite that, she didn't just slide into German easily. She came here, she worked hard. She has been in every class that I've seen her in, she gives it 110%. Her work ethic is extremely high. Her willingness and eagerness to use her ability in the language is very reflective of the level of, it reflects the mastery level that she has achieved. It's exceptionally fun to watch her in class, to see her latch onto a concept. I know her first degree, which is accounting, was going to serve her well, but just keep in mind, Karen, that we always are needing new professors of German out there, and it would be a thrill to call her one day, perhaps a colleague. She is graduating this year with honors. Will continue here at WSU, as I am given to understand that she'll be working here for the university. But she already has told me she is looking forward to her next trip to Germany, where she hopes to reconnect with family, with friends there, and visit and even revisit places that she's learned about during the classwork that she's done here. She's an exceptional student, highly deserving of this award, and it's my pleasure to offer it to her today. Congratulations, Karen. We're really happy and very proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. We will now recognize the outstanding senior in Japanese, and my colleague Riho Abo will say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, good. It's my pleasure to present Mary Smith, our outstanding senior of this year. Mary joined our program at WSU in fall 2018 when she was still a freshman. Since she didn't know any Japanese, she didn't have any Japanese knowledge. She started with Japanese 101. And since then, she has been studying so hard and rigorously, completing all the courses very successfully while she was majoring in biochemistry. And then those who know how difficult Japanese studies is, you can imagine how hard it must have been for her to be a major in the science and then also studying Japanese for majoring. She, through her Japanese studies, Mary has also developed her interest in Japan and also other Asian cultures. And she was developing her interest in teaching foreign language, teaching English as foreign language, With that goal in mind, she also helped the Japanese program as an TA for the past year, and she has also shown a great skill set for being a teacher. Now Mary is graduating with Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry, and then she has an additional major in Japanese for professions. After graduation, she will move to South Korea to work as an English instructor. She is unfortunately not here today, but I would like to wish her all the best and a success in her new life in Korea. Congratulations.
Thank you, Reho. We will now recognize the outstanding senior in Spanish, but I am not sure which colleague of mine in Spanish will be presenting.
That will be Vilma.
And I think that we are going to introduce Vanessa when we present the award to the outstanding foreign language and culture student. So I'm going to hold now. All right, so we will recognize the outstanding student in comparative ethnic studies, and this will be presented by John Streamus.
Yeah, hi. I last year I nominated Yubi Lojewski for the university's Community Equity and Social Justice Award, and so, you know, getting the Outstanding Senior and CES Award this year is probably not a surprise. She will probably get many, many, many awards. She'll probably need 50 years from now a whole room for trophies and awards and honors. On the other hand, you know, she is able to do this work and find a place for herself within the institution without compromising at all her integrity. She's able to keep the oppressors at arm's length while thoroughly engaging allies, and she's one of those students, and I know my colleagues would agree, who in the last few years, especially in the last 2 years, one of our students who has taught as much as they've learned in our classes, I believe, as she did last Friday in her presentation for my immigration class. So it's really a wonderful thing that we get to recognize Yubi. She's a great student.
Thank you, John. We will now recognize the outstanding senior, in social sciences, and this will be presented by Anna Chow.
Hey everyone, so I'm here to present Tani. I don't know if Tani is here, but Tani has been an excellent student who took every opportunity to advance herself and her goals. Because she came in with almost a full year of transfer credits, she was able to complete a degree in CES and also a degree in social sciences during her 4 years at WSU. For her social sciences degree, her areas are criminal justice and military sciences, and she also took a number of Spanish courses, and so she's really taken a lot of classes from our school. So she's a student who really exemplifies the multidisciplinary nature of our degree program, and she utilizes all of the courses from all of these different areas to develop a broad and more diverse understanding and perspective. Tani has always come prepared to all of her advising appointments, and she's also an excellent student in class, and faculty members have said that it's very clear that she critically comprehends complex and contradictory issues and is always ready to add to discussions in class and help explain concepts to classmates in tangible ways. Upon graduation, Tani will be commissioning in the U.S. Air Force as a second lieutenant. She will be stationed at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona starting June 1st as a finance officer. She has wanted to be in the military since she was a child, and she comes from a military family, so Army and Marines. She hopes to get a master's degree at some point, but is planning to make the military her career. So congratulations to Tani on her accomplishments, and we're extremely proud of her. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. And we will now go straight to recognizing the outstanding senior for the foreign language and culture side of our school. And this award will be presented by Vilma Navarro Daniels. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? And I see that Vanessa is attending this virtual ceremony. Yeah, it is my honor to introduce Vanessa Veniaminovna Marar to you. Vanessa is both our Spanish and Foreign Language and Culture Outstanding Senior of the Year. A native from Ukraine, Vanessa is fluent in Russian, English, Spanish, and Korean, besides her mother tongue. She believes that learning a foreign language is equivalent to acquiring a different worldview, a different way of thinking and processing things around her. Multilingualism gives Vanessa the ability to communicate with people from vastly diverse backgrounds, with language serving as the medium for learning the unseen aspects of their cultures and perspectives. The ability of developing cultural awareness, forming deeper interpersonal connections, as well as strong intrapersonal skills by finding her own place within several languages and cultures, and how each one of them forms an integral and inseparable part of her own identity. In 2006, Vanessa permanently moved to the United States under refugee status. As a first-generation student and as a refugee, she had to overcome a series of academic, financial, and cultural challenges. In addition, after a few years in college, she had to learn how to balance her roles as a wife, a mother, and a full-time student. Regarding the future, Vanessa has already applied to graduate programs to keep pursuing her teaching degree after graduating from WSU this spring semester. Beyond her professional goals, she aspires to be an excellent role model for her daughter, to be the academic resource that she could not have, and to teach her the significance of being multilingual and serving her community. Ultimately, Vanessa hopes to make her parents' decision of sacrificing and leaving behind everything they knew in Ukraine and moving to the United States worthwhile. Congratulations, Vanessa. I'm sending you a big hug.
Gracias.
Thank you, Vilma. We would like now to recognize one faculty member who is retiring this year, and this is John Grenier-Winter. Cassandra Gulam from Vancouver was supposed to talk a little bit, but unfortunately, Cassandra is sick and couldn't attend today. So Carmen Lugo, our director, will read the words that Cassandra wrote about John, and then I will have a few things to say myself.
All right, so this is what Cassandra has to say about Joan. After 31 years of teaching, research, and service at Washington State University across 2 campuses, Joan Grenier-Winter, professor of French, is almost an institution unto herself. She has held positions from language section lead to chair to associate dean, was the executive director of the Rocky Mountain Modern Language Association for nearly 15 years, and has served on committees of every possible nature and level, from curriculum to recruitment to academic affairs. Her name is well known and highly respected across the WSU system. I won't subject you to my non-existent French accent, and that goes by for me too, by reading the titles of her publications, but I will say they're numerous in the form of journal articles, book chapters, and books. I will also mention that among other grants and honors, the National Endowment for the Humanities has supported her work on at least 4 different occasions, and she was also recognized with the Mariana M. and Donald S. Madison Distinguished Professorship in 2015. Joan is also an adept teacher and engaged pedagogist. At WSU Vancouver, she was accustomed to teaching as many as 7 different courses in a year. She has developed new curricula and formats for our unit and was the backbone of our film studies minor. Joan showed us that she does not shy away from new technologies or strategies, regularly attended and presented pedagogically focused workshops, and was on the cutting edge of online and technology-supported instruction long before WSU adopted Canvas, Blackboard, or Angel. Despite her decades of experience, Joan always remained open to feedback on how to improve her syllabi, her teaching, and her course structures. But while she's something of a model in terms of the grand trifecta of research, service, and teaching, where Joan has truly made an indelible mark in her mentorship. To this, I'd like to invite Sabine Davis, career track professor of French, to share some thoughts about Joan.
Thank you. So I joined WSU Pullman in 2001, and from day one, Joan took me under her wing, and her mentorship really had a huge impact on my career at WSU. Joan, you had a great vision for all things academic, and you were not afraid of change. So with your determination and work ethic, you were very active in shaping the French section and the department as a whole. And it was very inspiring for me to see someone so involved in and caring about the department, how it functions and how it's perceived. Quality and clarity were 2 hallmarks of every change you proposed, and the French section and the department as a whole owe much to your vision and work. You opened for us, for me and the faculty members of the French section, you opened doors. You provided me with incredible opportunities, especially during my first few years at WSU. You trusted me in doing so many things, things that I probably would not have dared undertaking on my own. And I benefited extremely from them, such as teaching at the upper level, organizing a faculty-led program in France, launching online courses, developing brand new courses, and working for the Rocky Mountain Modern Language Association. I will never thank you enough for all these opportunities you created for me. And finally, I would like to highlight your positivity. You always saw a silver lining in any situation or found ways to make people feel better when something did not go quite right in a classroom, in a meeting, or in life. You truly cared about the well-being of the faculty in the French section. I will remember fondly the French section dinners we had over at your house or in town, talking about work-life balance. It was a place of friendship where you always felt, where we always felt a huge amount of support from you. And for this, I was and still am very grateful. And Cassandra was going to conclude with a few more thoughts. So Carmen, back to you.
Okay, so this is still Cassandra saying, my experiences working with Joan were much like Sabine's, and that she saw and offered every opportunity possible to help us grow as teachers and scholars, to offer our talents in different service arenas, and to speak up when we see something that can be improved. There is almost nothing I can point to my CV that Joan did not have some kind of influence on, whether as the seed of an idea or a full-blown, I insist that you do this, Cassandra. It will be good for you. But what stands out even more than the opportunities and encouragement that Joan has unfailingly offered during our dozen years working together is her personal standard of excellence, which others around her cannot help but note and want to emulate. Simply put, Joan's good opinion has been a touchstone of my career, and I am grateful to you for that. I am also grateful that while your retirement is an unmitigated loss for WSU as an institution and more for me as a colleague, I will get to keep enjoying your friendship for many years to come. Thank you for everything. And now I'm speaking as myself when I say that I would like to echo everything said by my colleagues and add that Joan served as a solid sounding board for me many times during the last 4 years. She will be missed terribly. We'll miss you, Joan.
Thank you, everybody. I've really enjoyed my 30+ years here at WSU and working with all of you and the support that I've received from the chairs that I've served under, and especially to you, Carmen. You've been great. So thank you, everybody.
So I guess it's still my turn. And I have to do 2 things. First, I forgot to name the graduate students when I said that I was gonna name the faculty and the grad students. Well, I named all the faculty and then I forgot, promptly forgot to do the same with the grad students. So I'm gonna do that right now because they're here and they need to be acknowledged. So I'll start with Teresa Carrasco, who is a PhD candidate, Mary Cook, who is a PhD student, Andre Deal, who's a PhD student, Begoña de Quintana Laza, who's a PhD student, Emiam Ferro, also PhD student, Amanda Hussein, PhD student, Thomas Lawrenson, PhD student, Yipong Lee, PhD candidate, Spencer Martin, PhD candidate, Abigail Romero, PhD candidate, Charles Ross, PhD student, Kyle Serra, PhD student, and Claudia Skinner, PhD candidate. So I needed to do that. And the last thing I need to do is, well, before concluding our ceremony, is to thank you all again for being here with us, for celebrating each other's accomplishments, the students' accomplishments, and thank you. We hope that we can do this in person next year. I'm not gonna take it for granted like I did last year, because as you can see, it didn't pan out when I said it so categorically that we would be in person this year. So this concludes our ceremony, and thank you all again for joining us, and see you next year, except for the faculty who I will be seeing tomorrow, I'm sure. Bye.